presented by Continental Tire. And for the first time anybody can remember, here in Fayetteville, they have camped out, they have slept in tents, they are fired up to get into Walton Arena tonight. And it is noisy in here right now, let me tell you. One of the marquee games of the challenge, number 7 Duke for the first time ever has come to the campus at the University of Arkansas for an ESPN Sonic blockbuster. And a look at the challenge. This is the second of 2 nights, and it is all tied up at 4 right now. One result tonight, Virginia defeating Texas A&M. So this thing may go right down to the wire. This game's going to have a lot to do with it. Dan Schulman and Jay Billis. Man, is it loud in this place. Are they excited? As we take a look at our Sonic blockbuster tonight, we'll start by focusing on Kyle Filipowski of Duke.
Well, Kyle Filipowski is going to be the focal point of Duke's offense. He leads them in almost every category of importance except for three-point shooting. But he's also going to be the focal point of Arkansas's defense. Now, you're going to see a little side pick and roll. The defense is in drop coverage. That means pick and pop, and that's a long way to recover for a big guy. And Filipowski's hit 6 threes on the season, so they can recover a little bit late in, see how many he hits. When he gets it into the post, his footwork is spectacular. You have to wall up and stay between him and the basket, or he can pivot around you and use that left hand. And we're going to see a little on big diagonal up screen to get Filipowski in the low post. Now, what is Arkansas going to do? Are they going to double him? Are they going to dig down? They've got to show him a lot of bodies and a lot of different looks, but he can roll his way to the basket, get fouled, score, or both. He is going to be the major player that Arkansas has to stop in this game.
If she can hear us, let's go to the bravest member of our crew, Chris Buck.
Welcome to the whiteout, gentlemen. Don Shire knows in this kind of environment, Duke cannot start slow, which has been an issue for them as of late against Southern Indiana. They got down by double digits in the first 10 minutes. So much so that Shire has changed how they've done practice this week. They put 20 minutes randomly up on the clock, just so his team understands how to turn on the energy when he needs it.
We are ready for the tip of our Sonic blockbuster matchup. Jay, I don't know that you and I have been in a louder place than this building right now.
What a spectacular setting for a basketball game. Walton Arena is the loudest arena to start a game I've ever been in.
I don't think we've ever heard anything like this. And underway with the first possession going to the Blue Devils and the sophomore Tyrese Proctor. Duke 5-1, ranked 7th in the nation. Arkansas fell out of the rankings after losing the last 2 of the 3 they played down in the Bahamas. As we check out the starting 5 for the Razorbacks, brought to you by Dove Men Plus Care. A lot of turnover, a lot of transfers, a lot of talent, and a lot of athleticism for the Hogs. They force a turnover. L. Ellis. Devo Davis. Arkansas leads.
And Dan, that's exactly what Duke wanted to avoid in this game's turnovers that go for touchdowns. But you can see Trevin Brazil's in the middle of the lane. He is not guarding Mark Mitchell at all. Similar to what Arizona did to Duke when Umar Ballo was in the middle of the lane. They're going to let him shoot threes and just clog the lane up with Trevin Brazil.
Yeah, if you're Duke, you'd love to take this crowd out of it somehow, but they are into it right now. Ellis off the glass and Filipowski down with a rebound. L. Ellis in the starting lineup tonight. Tremont Mark is not expected to play as Proctor knocks down a 3. And what a sensational start he is off to this season.
Well, Proctor is such a good assist guy, and he hardly ever turns it over. He's got about a 5-to-1 assist turnover ratio by himself.
Chandler Lawson turns it over. And the freshman Jared McCain leads Duke into the front court. Arkansas beat Stanford in double overtime down in the Bahamas, but then lost to Memphis, lost to Carolina. So they are 4-3 on the season, and again fell out of the rankings this week.
Duke's going to have to use Mark Mitchell as a screener. He just can't allow Trevin Brazil to camp out in the middle of the lane without causing some havoc out there. If they use him as a screener, it's basically 2-on-1 on the ball.
Jeremiah Davenport, a transfer from Cincinnati, fouled by Jeremy Roach. We mentioned Tremont Mark, who had an incredible game against Carolina on Friday in the Bahamas. 34 points, but with just over a minute to go, an unbelievably hard fall to the court. He was down for a while. He went back, when they went back on the plane back to the mainland, he was in a wheelchair. He has been checked out by multiple specialists, a spinal specialist. There is no significant damage, but he is not going to play here tonight, and that is obviously a big loss for the Hawks. The best news is this young man is okay, but he's not going to play tonight.
And his long-term health is what Eric Musselman and his staff are concerned about. They don't want to put him in a position of re-injuring himself. He's got a groin issue that's come from that. It's not just the back, but what a scary situation to be stretchered off. And I know there were a lot of anxious moments, but thankfully he's okay and he'll be back soon.
The transfer from Houston is off to a great start for the Hogs this year. Davenport underneath, and it's laid in by Chandler Lawson.
Just got his shoulders past the defender. That was a strong right-hand drive. Dan, Arkansas is playing in no middle defense. They want to keep Duke completely out of the middle.
Mitchell surrounded in the paint. Can't get it to go, but a foul is called against Arkansas.
Jeremiah Davenport has not shot the ball particularly well, but got down in triple threat position and just blew right by Jared McCain, drew the defense. And that's what you're really trying to do on a drive, is draw help and play out of it. And when Kyle Filipowski helped up to the ball, that drop off to Lawson was rather easy. Well done by Jeremiah Davenport.
Mitchell at the line for Duke, averaging 12 points per game so far. At a career high 20 against Bucknell on the 17th of this month. And he can guard 1 through 5 really, and he's got a challenge tonight dealing with Trevin Brazil.
Well, Brazil is super talented, coming off that ACL injury last year. And remember when we saw them in Maui, he was really starting to come on. I think he got hurt just after that against UNC Greensboro. But that was a huge loss for Arkansas last year. And that was a Final Four caliber team, I thought, leaving Maui. But that left a hole coming off the bench. A shot blocker, guy who could stretch you a little bit, and just a superior athlete.
100% healthy this season now. Davis, in his 4th year in the program. That's a rarity these days with everybody transferring so much. Ellis the kick. Brazil hoists the 3 and knocks it down. McCain open on the wing, and Duke back on top.
Jared McCain, that's his 13th 3 on the season. That leads the Blue Devils, but especially difficult to deal with his transition threes.
Duke is used to dealing with all kinds of hostile environments on the road, but this one would be right up there at the top of the list. John Shire's never been in this building before here today.
Because when you have to pick up that role, Jeremiah Davenport had to come all the way off a 3-point shooter from the right wing. That's just too big of a help and recover. You have to bluff and retreat and stay with the 3-point shooter, because Filipowski's just going to be a tough 2 because Brazil was back there.
Brazil is fouled and it goes.
Dan, Tremont Mark being out certainly isn't a good thing for Arkansas, but it does open up some opportunities for players to step forward. Caleb Battle, who transferred in from Temple, and this young man, Trevin Brazil, who is just a super talent. And he averaged 13 points and 13 rebounds against both Stanford and Memphis, but he had a bagel against North Carolina in their last game.
There are a lot of NBA scouts here tonight, and they're here for a lot of reasons, but Trevin Brazil is right at the top of the list.
And what a matchup with Devo Davis guarding Tyrese Proctor.
Mitchell wide open. Misses the 3. L. Ellis for the Hogs. The former Louisville Cardinal, who has not scored in his last 3 games after starting the first 4. and putting up pretty good numbers. With Mark out, they could really use some offense from Ellis. A nice drive end-to-end for Jeremy Roach.
Yeah, that was really puzzling about Ellis. He was averaging 15 points a game. He goes down to Atlantis, and he had 3 bagels in a row.
Yep.
I mean, did not score down there.
A guy who scored about 18 a game last year for a Louisville team that had a dismal season a year ago. He had to carry such a heavy load for them, and obviously in a more winning environment here in Fayetteville. Look at Davis running down the rebound.
And that's really an issue for Duke in this ball game. Can they rebound with Arkansas? They got out-rebounded badly by Arizona in their first game of the year.
If it's Filipowski, it's 2. 5 minutes in. Looks like a good one. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Continental Tire, the smart choice in tires, and in part by Sonic Footlong quarter-pound chili cheese coney for a limited time only at Sonic. Fayetteville, and Jay, an early major concern for the Blue Devils. Kyle Filipowski just picked up his 2nd foul.
Yeah, just trying to give a little hedge here. Just reached in as Ellis tried to split those 2 defenders, and Filipowski's got to use his body, keep his hands up, arms up, body down. And I think if it was body contact, far less likely for a foul to be called. He just has to be smart where he picks up these fouls. Getting 2 this early, it's going to be an interesting decision for John Shire and his staff. How long do they keep Filipowski out? And obviously how the game goes is going to dictate a lot of that decision.
So Ryan Young, the grad transfer from Northwestern, has checked into the game for Duke. Caleb Battle, Jay told you about him, transfer from Temple. He is wired to score, and he is in the game now for the Razorbacks.
Battle at 21 against Memphis.
Brazil off to a good start tonight. Hit a 3 from right about that spot earlier. Ellis pulls up. And off the shot clock above the backboard over to Duke.
Guys, my watch is telling me that I need to go find someplace quiet because it's too loud in here. The decibel reader at 110, which is the equivalent of a jackhammer.
What's a jet airliner? Because it feels like it'd be quieter if we went and lay down near the airport. Just watch the planes land. It is unbelievable in here, but it gets a little bit quieter after the bucket by Proctor.
Well, Mark Mitchell came up to set that little step-up ball screen, and because Trevin Brazil was more in drop coverage, it gave Proctor the opportunity to sort of snake that and get into the middle of the lane.
Lawson, he wasn't quite sure what to do. Eventually put it up, and it rimmed out.
You're going to see a lot of people in the lane with Ryan Young and Mark Mitchell on the floor at the same time.
Young the ball screen, frees up Proctor for a clean look. Rebound Lawson, the transfer from Memphis, and then another Duke foul.
And another cheap one.
Well, an exciting lineup coming up for women's hoops on ESPN tomorrow. Number 1, South Carolina taking on number 24, North Carolina at 7 Eastern. And then Virginia Tech and LSU in Baton Rouge at 9. And Kim Mulkey announced today, Angel Reese, who has missed the last 4 games, is back for that game. You can catch all the action on the app as well. Makai Mitchell has checked in for Arkansas. Give him an assist on the bucket by Caleb Battle.
Simple little down screen. Caleb Battle wide open. That's his 14th 3 on the season, 44%.
Mitchell loses it out of bounds to Arkansas.
Caleb Battle leads Arkansas in 3-pointers made and 3-point percentage. And he had those feet set on the catch and was ready to fire.
They can really get offense from a number of different places, even with Tremont and Mark out of the lineup. Ellis, they'd love this one, but it won't go down. Boy, a strong drive, and he got to the bucket just a little bit too hard off the glass.
Yeah, and then they got Makai Mitchell over the top for a rebounding foul. You like the way Arkansas has come out aggressive in attack mode, and Arkansas has had some problems. They're not a high assist team, early on to start the season. They only average about 10 assists per game. They've had some turnover issues. They have fouled a ton.
Yeah, those were focal points of Eric Musselman in practice the last couple of days. To Jay's point about assists and turnovers, in the 3 games in the Bahamas, 19 assists and 43 turnovers. And that is a very hard way to win basketball
Not
games.
a recipe for success for Arkansas. But this is a team that's going to look a lot different in another month than they look right now. And obviously they'd look better if they had Tremont Mark in the ball game because of his versatility. He does everything.
Second on Mitchell, something to keep an eye on. Young at the line for Duke. And gets the bounce. And at least for now, Coach Muss is going to leave Mitchell in the game with 2 fouls. Nope, I spoke too soon, as I usually do. Here comes Jalen Graham, fifth-year senior from Phoenix, formerly from Arizona State, and he is just back after missing the last 4 games with back spasms.
Transferred in from Arizona State, where he was second-team All-Pac-12. And Jalen Graham can score. He had a great game here last year against Alabama. I think he had 15 in the first half, if I remember right. And I think he plays his best in the bigger games.
Freshman Layden Blocker into the game for the Hogs as well. He's from Little Rock. Battle. Had to force it up, and back comes Duke, 5-on-4.
Decided to essentially go 1-on-5 there. Got in the air, had nothing to do.
Proctor way short. And back over to the Hogs.
With Layden Blocker in the game. He's a freshman from Little Rock. It gives you an additional handler out there that can make plays off the dribble, more of a true point guard.
Really plays hard, but Coach Musselman's been talking to him about some of the specifics, some of the finer aspects of the game. But boy, he gives an effort out there. Here's Graham. Boy, does the crowd want to see him lay one in. They won't get their wish. A little bit strong off the back of the iron. Roach into the paint. And a foul. Tied at 13. Here in Fayetteville, Duke and Arkansas going at it in the ACC SEC Challenge.
The Arkansas Age is there.
Saturday, don't miss all the excitement leading up to the 2023 SEC Championship game, beginning with Marty and McGee at noon Eastern, followed by SEC Nation at 1. The whole crew is ready to bring you the previews and latest news you need to get ready for the big game between top-ranked Georgia and number 8 Alabama. Then after the champ is crowned, join the SEC football final crew for full post-game review at 8 Eastern, both right here on the SEC Network and also on the ESPN app. Duke back on top by a point after the free throw from Jeremy Roach. Again, the first time Duke's ever come here. Just the 5th time these programs have ever met. Last one just a couple of years ago when Duke defeated Arkansas in the Elite 8 in the tournament. Roach is going to sit. And back into the game is McCain.
And Duke going to bring a little 2-2-1 full court pressure. Not necessarily to generate a steal, but just take some time off the clock. Then you don't have to guard Arkansas for as long in the half court. It's down to 15 before they get into anything.
Carl, thank you. Carolina with a 192 win over Tennessee. We are here, and it is a wild scene here at the Bud Walton Arena. The crowd is on fire. 19,000 of the loudest people you ever met in your life, and they're having themselves a pretty good time in what has been a fun, intense game so far.
And what an atmosphere. I mean, the teams are diving on loose balls, they're all over the place. Bodies are flying. But Kyle Filipowski picked up his second foul with about 15 minutes to go in the first half. That's been a key in this game. And so far in the game, Arkansas has been laying off of Mark Mitchell. And Trevin Brazil's been playing in the middle of the lane, similar defense to what Arizona played against Duke in Cameron Indoor Stadium in the first game of the season. Duke's made some adjustments. Now Mitchell's coming out, setting some ball screens, trying to pull Trevin Brazil away from the basket.
And Devo Davis, as you can see, has gone to get some medical attention. He dives for the ball, and Ryan Young dives for the ball as well, and that knocks the right side of Devo Davis's head into the court, and you can see he started bleeding right away. So the officials are looking at the monitor. Doesn't look like they have decided to assess anything. Meanwhile, they are trying to clean up the blood that's on the floor. So Davis probably getting some stitches. And Arkansas's already without Tremont Mark, who had that incredible game against Carolina a few days ago. For those of you who weren't with us at the outset of the game, Mark is not playing tonight. Suffered a back injury right at the end of the game down in the Bahamas against the Tar Heels. Incredible game, scored 34 points. And in the moment, Jay, there was a lot of concern about the potential severity of this injury. As a precaution, they took him off on a stretcher. He was in a wheelchair when Arkansas flew back from the Bahamas, but he was at shoot around today, was walking around, just taking some layups and shots every now and again, but obviously they want to play it safe with his health. The best news is a spinal specialist, among others, has looked at him and determined there is no structural damage, nothing significant that could cause a long-term issue.
What a move by Leighton Walton. Nice little hesitation move on the baseline to get all the way to the 10. But he's got game.
I'm sure that was a great point you made, but I didn't hear a word of it. Keep doing it.
You don't listen anyway.
Yeah. And a foul called on Jalen Graham.
Leighton Blocker, last 2 games, is averaging over 10 points per game. Just a little hesitation move to get right around the big guy from Duke, Ryan Young, and Young gets into the middle. That's one thing that Arkansas, Dan, wants to take away. They are a no-middle defensive team. They want to force everything away from the middle, and that's where their help is coming from.
Graham's going to sit with his second foul. Makai Mitchell's got 2. Filipowski on the other side with 2. So Arkansas, Jay's got a little bit smaller now as Chandler Lawson comes in. But he can handle big guys. He did a great job in an exhibition win over Purdue guarding Zach Edey.
Duke has a relatively small lineup out there as well. Sean Stewart, just a freshman, is playing the 4 spot, but he's a spectacular athlete, but he's given away a lot of size to Brazil.
Yeah, if anybody loses something on the top of the backboard, Sean Stewart's the guy to ask to go get it. And now a Duke foul. And Arkansas, they're a team that gets to the line a lot. They're athletic, they drive. They are 7th in the nation in the early going this year in free throw attempts per game.
And you just have to go straight up. I mean, Ryan Young brought his arms down, and then Battle was able to just go into his arms. You forced him into a tough 2, make him make the tough 2 over you.
Young picked up his second, but he's going to stay in the game. And here comes Bay Fall into the game for Arkansas. He's a top 30 recruit, a guy raw but incredibly skilled, can block shots. He hasn't played a ton for the Hogs this year.
All he has to do in there is run the floor, rebound, and protect the rim. But he's a hard worker, and you give him a little bit of time, he can make a shot. But he's playing that one-man zone. Bay Fall right underneath.
How about this? 10 minutes in, 10 lead changes, and neither team is led by more than 2 points.
A good take by Mark Mitchell, just right into the chest of Fall to knock him back and get into the middle of the lane. That's where Fall's going to get stronger and be able to wall up a little bit better in the future.
Ellis and Blocker both in there in the backcourt. Battle as well. Battle. He does not need much time or space to get the shot off. Fall the rebound.
A good little fade screen to get him open.
Blocker on the drive, and he is fouled by Foster.
Mark Mitchell just takes that space up. He was given about 5 feet by Bay Fall. He just went right into it, knocked him back, and once you get 2 feet in the paint there, he's a lefty, but went to the right hand to get that to go in. It's a strong move by Mark Mitchell, and you mentioned it, his versatility, especially defensively. You know, you talk about a guy being a multi-positional defender, but he really can guard 1 through 5. He can switch out on a point guard and guard him for a few dribbles.
Boy, Arkansas leaving some points on the line here in the first half. As Blocker misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Into Roach, the steady senior for Duke. Mitchell drives it, misses it, gets it back, and lays it in. And this 3-point lead is the largest lead for either team in the game.
Another good drive by Mitchell. You know, they had a 2-on-1, and if Lawson had helped up, it would have given a little lob to Ryan Young. Good split.
And an equally good pass, and Ryan Young picked up his 3rd foul.
Just brought that arm down, and I didn't think there was a lot of contact, but that's where you just have to say it again. You just have to go straight up and make him make the shot. Watch his arm come down here. He thought he got all ball, so did his coach, but he got arm. So that was a good call.
And that's going to force John Shire into a decision. Young is going to come out of the game. And Shire has sent 7-1 sophomore Christian Reeves from Charlotte to the scorer's table. A guy with a lot of ability and potential, but again, a guy who does not play very much. A little bit more this year than last, but doesn't get a lot of minutes.
Well, he hasn't had action in the last 4 games.
Yep.
You know, he came in, had some good minutes against Arizona with the size that Tommy Lloyd could put on the floor.
Let's go to Chris for an update.
Devo Davis back out on here on the sidelines. He's standing up, going to talk to coach. He had his eye stitched up. They were working on getting some of the blood off of his uniform, but he is back out here.
And obviously, thank you, Chris. Coach Musselman would love to get him back into the game as soon as possible, especially without the services of Tremont Mark tonight. Great fake by Proctor, but he can't get it to go.
And a nice block out by Trevin Brazil. That 2-man zone that they're playing off non-shooting bigs and just right in the middle of the lane.
Ellis, no. Rebound, Lawson.
Good pass.
Battle. And Blocker slams it.
Offensive rebound was the key.
Timeout, Duke.
Chandler Lawson grabbed the offensive rebound, got away with the bump, but when that extra opportunity got Duke into scramble mode, you got to come over and help. There was overhelp, and Leighton Blocker ties it up with the dunk.
It's V-Week on ESPN as we continue Jim Valvano's fight against cancer.
V-Week, such an important week for everybody here at ESPN. Eric Musselman, coach of the Hawks. Let's go cross court. Here's Chris Budden.
Hi, I am joined with Coach Musselman's wife, Danielle Musselman. And as we celebrate V-Week, you have your own story. Your mom was diagnosed with cancer a while ago. Share us her story and how she's doing now.
She's doing amazing. My mom was diagnosed with breast cancer at 56, and she had lost both of her parents very young to cancer. So it's something that really has affected my family. And when I had the opportunity to get involved with Coaches versus Cancer, it's something I took very personally, and so I just jumped in.
You have done so much with Coaches versus Cancer and your sneakers gala, raising so much money. How have you seen that money play an impact in our fight against cancer?
Oh my goodness. Cancer research saves lives. I had a friend that was diagnosed with multiple myeloma a year ago. 10 years ago, that was a death sentence. She now is cancer-free. And the money that is raised during Suits and Sneakers galas and other events like that are what saves lives. And so I'm just honored to be a part of that.
Well, we appreciate all your work. While I have you here, I have to ask, you've been to so many in this building. Where is this rank on how loud this is?
Honestly, this is #1 for me. And this is year 5, so it's pretty incredible. I don't see very many empty seats.
No, I'll let you enjoy the game. I appreciate the time.
Thank
guys.
you.
Chris, Danielle, thank you. Wonderful stuff. And If she says it's number one, we're going to take her at her word. It's as loud as you could ever imagine a building being. With Duke coming to town for the first time ever. V-Week at ESPN, where we partner with the V Foundation to highlight the urgent need for cancer research. Join the fight at v.org/donate as Caleb Battle puts the Hogs back on top.
Arkansas has been impressive with their defense. They're playing good defense for the most part without fouling.
And did it again right there. And note that John Shires put Kyle Filipowski back into the game with 2 fouls. And a block underneath going against Tyrese Proctor.
Arkansas able to get the turnover off the deflection and an immediate pass ahead to Caleb Battle. He went right into the body of Tyrese Proctor and got that bucket to go. And that's when Arkansas, Dan, is at its best traditionally under Eric Musselman, when they can create some havoc, get buckets in transition. And that's not been the way they played for several games this year. Their steals are down, their fouls are up. And as a result, they've been having to play a lot more half-court offense, and their assists are way down as a result.
A lot of new faces. They lost 4 players to the pros after last year, a Sweet 16 team. They brought in 4 transfers and a couple of freshmen, and there are a lot of bodies, and it still feels like not just the roles are being sorted out, but the system. Eric Musselman getting out of his players what he wants from them is still being sorted out, but his teams get better over the course of the season.
Yeah, they'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But first they need to figure it out on the defensive end, and at least tonight they have done a very good job defensively.
Mitchell left wide open, misses the 3. Roach on the drive and a foul.
Well, if Trevin Brazil is going to play way off Mark Mitchell and he takes that shot, you're 5 on 4 on the glass essentially there. And Arkansas has to get that rebound. I mean, the rebound came off long, which a lot of corner threes do. But Mitchell has not been taking that shot much. He's only hit 1 3 on the year. And that's what Eric Musselman's banking on. But he's also been driving that space. And I think you're going to see him continue to drive it instead of take that 3.
Roach at the line now for Duke, and they really needed him in the second half of their game a few days ago against Southern Indiana. Duke came out without a lot of intensity and energy. They were down 10 late in the first half at home to the Screaming Eagles and came back a 20-3 run. Roach was a big part of that and led them to a victory. And now we get our first look at TJ Power, a 6'9" freshman from Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, who has also played somewhat sparingly for the Blue Devils this year.
Yeah, he's a little bit behind on defense, but he can really shoot it. Strong body, smart, really high release on that jump shot. And Duke going to a 2-3 zone now. The wings are up a little bit. But even with this zone, any opportunity that Arkansas has to penetrate it and go at Filipowski, they need to take it. And they also need Arkansas to pound the offensive glass out of this. Corner should be open with the wings up.
Battle. They keep him from driving. Shot clock is at 5. And Filipowski with a rejection with a couple of fouls. Went up and blocked it and came down with it.
Well, he went straight up there. That vertical contest, you're not going to get a foul called on you, or at least you're less likely. Good fake.
And fouled on the drive.
See, Filipowski, you still need to close out short to him. But on this drop off, Lawson goes up and just a vertical contest. He didn't bring the arms down.
And now the preseason All-American is at the line, averaging almost 19 points per game. Looking for his first point of the night right here.
He's averaging 19. He leads Duke in scoring, rebounding, steals, blocks, field goal percentage, and free throws made and attempted. That's pretty good.
Jeremiah Davenport back in. Blocker's second foul sends him to the bench. The depth of both teams being tested here in the first half because of fouls.
Well, the free throw line is going to be a deciding factor in this game. How often can you get there, and can you make them when you do?
Arkansas gets there more often. Duke comes into the game shooting a slightly higher team percentage. Three freshmen on the floor right now for the Blue Devils. Corner three is open. Filipowski down with an impressive rebound. Ahead to Roach, who will lay it in, and Eric Musselman will not be happy with that, as they didn't have any floor balance.
Yeah, just poor balance because the corners were filled. Nice.
Trevin Brazil lays it in to tie it up. And Power knocks it down. His first touch is a three-pointer.
And that's what he's out there to do, and one of the reasons Duke went to the zone. A little 2-2-1, three-quarter court pressure, and back into the 2-3 that morphs into really more of a 2-2-1 with the wings up.
We mentioned Power hasn't played a lot. Played 6 minutes against LaSalle and hit 3 threes while he was out there.
You see TJ Power just runs to the three-point line, and Trevin Brazil helps on that drive by Caleb Foster. That's just a 2. You have to recover to three-point shooters and no personnel. That's different than guarding Mark Mitchell or Ryan Young.
Pretty good way for these two teams to kick off the ACC-SEC Challenge. Obviously, it was the ACC Big Ten Challenge for years and years. That is no longer. This is the first year of this challenge, and what an environment for one of the marquee games of this two-day event.
Well, I remember back in the 90s when it was the ACC Big East.
That's right. Foster to McCain. The three won't go. And another rebound for Brazil, who's been active tonight.
Arkansas needs to get some penetration into the gaps of this zone. Make 2 play 1 and then play out of it.
Devo Davis back on the floor.
There it is.
And Battle did it, and Brazil knocks it down. He's got 11.
Just one hard dribble to get 2 to play 1. And Brazil was wide open in the corner.
And Foster is fouled. I don't know how they can hear a whistle in here.
A couple of the referees couldn't. They were down at the other end. Penetration can be really debilitating to a zone. You get 2 playing 1, kick it to the corner, wide open 3.
Guys, thank you. I know this. If you want to call out a play in this game, you got to do it with hand signals. You cannot do it verbally. Nobody will hear a word that you say here tonight. Pretty big day in Arkansas sports, both with this game and with Bobby Petrino officially being brought back and announced now as the new offensive coordinator, sitting alongside Sam Pittman, the head coach. Petrino coming full circle back to Fayetteville.
That was a talk radio dream today. You had the Duke-Arkansas game, and then Bobby Petrino coming back to Arkansas as offensive coordinator.
Boy, good defense by Davenport. He forced Foster into a very tough shot.
Davenport, who transferred in from Cincinnati, is known more as a shooter than a defender, but really did a great job keeping his body in front of Foster.
Duke stays in the zone.
And the penetration is what's going to be important here.
Battle off the side of the backboard and out of bounds. Duke ball. Pretty good drive and kick by Devo Davis to set up Battle for a good shot.
And the defensive game plan that Arkansas has put in has been really effective. And you got Chandler Lawson guarding Kyle Filipowski, and then look, you got Trevin Brazil right in the middle of the lane. Now he's going to have to get out and guard TJ Power.
Blocked from behind by Davenport.
Thought Foster could have taken that to the other side of the rim.
Davis. Good help by Filipowski, and then an over and back.
Well, I don't know where Caleb Battle was going. Come back to the ball. He got right in the passer's vision and then cut away. You can't fool your own guy with a cut, especially when that cutaway wasn't going to give you anything. You're trying to rescue a teammate in trouble.
Into Filipowski.
Got one-on-one in the post.
Now the drive by McCain, and it won't go, but Filipowski lays it in.
But Filipowski did such a great job of keeping that ball high when he caught it. Got the offensive rebound, didn't bring it down, and was able to just kiss it off the glass.
First field goal of the night for Kyle Filipowski.
And foul trouble has been a factor for Filipowski, but also Arkansas's defense. They've done a good job on him. They're not doubling, they're just digging down, showing him a lot of bodies that he's got to process.
5 on the shot clock. Davis from the corner. And it bounces over the backboard back to Duke.
Those corner threes are going to continue to be open for Arkansas. But on this drive by McCain, Lawson's got to come over and help. Brazil needs to rotate down and block him out. But that was a really good job of keeping that ball high by Filipowski.
Both teams just 3 for 11 from three-point range so far tonight.
TJ Power being on the floor means Brazil's got to come out and guard him.
Roach gets all the way inside, can't finish it.
That's a lot of size to finish over.
Battle driving on Power. Davenport hits.
He needed that one. He's only shooting 22% from three coming into this. He's been doing everything else in this game, but making shots is his MO. That's how he plays. Really nice job to navigate the baseline and the little baseline drive, baseline drift. And Jeremiah Davenport, he was 4 of 18 from three coming into this one. He's a much better shooter than that. Got a good mid-range game, could shoot on the move.
McCain misses the front end. Duke now 8 for 13 from the line. Arkansas just 4 for 8.
Duke going to stick with this zone. I think Arkansas's got to flatten it out a little bit more. That's a tough pass.
That is a very tough pass. And it's a turnover. And it's Proctor bobbing and weaving all the way up the court. Power. Again. His second three of the night.
How about TJ Power coming in off the bench? He has not been playing much, but he's showing why he was recruited and big part of this recruiting class. Yeah, he can really shoot it.
For a freshman who's played sparingly to play well in this environment. Pretty good stuff. Battle. Tipped out, Arkansas ball.
A great job by Lawson to keep that ball alive. You can't grab it, tip it to a teammate.
Davenport again.
Chandler Lawson set a great screen against that zone to get Jeremiah Davenport open.
The pull-up by McCain is short. They've got time. Battle. Cannot hit it. As the first half comes to a close here in Fayetteville with Arkansas leading Duke by a single point. Chris Budden is with Duke coach John Shine.
Coach, as loud as an atmosphere as you might find in college basketball, how have you guys handled it?
I didn't say that one more time.
It's loud in here. How have you guys handled the atmosphere?
Look, we've done well overall. You know, flip gets 2 fouls right away, that puts us in a different position. I thought we did a great job battling, mucking some stuff out. The job TJ Power did coming in the game. And look, it's a 1-point game. This is where we want to be. We got regrouped, though. I thought we could have been more poised on offense.
What will be important in the next 20 minutes?
Having poise and rebounding. You know, look, they do a great job putting pressure on you at the rim, getting to the foul line. We put them there right away. We got in the bonus pretty quick. So that's going to be something for us in the second half.
I appreciate it. Thanks,
All right,
Coach.
thank you.
Pretty entertaining first half in a pretty special environment. Jeremiah Davenport with a couple of late threes for the Hogs. They've got a 1-point lead on Duke as we send it back to the studio with Seth Greenberg. Here's Kevin Connors. And welcome back to the ACC SEC Challenge presented by Continental Tire. We are here at Bud Walton Arena, where it is about as loud as a building could get in a fun first half. The Hogs with a 1-point lead on Duke in this ESPN Sonic blockbuster. Number 7 Duke taking on currently unranked Arkansas after they lost a couple times last week, fell out of the rankings. Trevin Brazil was the offense early, and then Jeremiah Davenport, Jay, hit 2 big late threes for Arkansas.
And that's important. He's not been shooting the ball particularly well for him to knock down those threes, especially against Duke's zone. I think Duke shot 34% in that first half, and Duke needs to get Kyle Filipowski involved early. The foul trouble early, sat for an extended period, only played 12 minutes, but only had 3 points and 4 rebounds in that first half. I think John Shire's got to get him involved early. And Arkansas has done a great job with their defense. They're playing Trevor Brazil right in the middle of the lane. But here they are against the zone. Ball is on the right side of the floor. And Chandler Lawson's just going to set a screen so that Jeremiah Davenport can just fade off and get an open shot. And even if they'd gotten coverage on him, yeah, Devo Davis in the corner for a wide open shot. So screening that zone, getting into it with penetration can really help Arkansas if Duke decides to stick with that zone to protect Kyle Filipowski.
We are ready for the second half of this Sonic blockbuster matchup. Just the 5th meeting ever between these two programs. One of them, the 1994 National Championship game won by the Hogs. Away we go. Duke with the first possession of the second half.
Look at Trevin Brazil, number 2, playing goalie right under the basket. He's not even guarding Mark Mitchell out on the perimeter.
If you're a wingspan guy, Trevin Brazil is your kind of player. And everybody knows, Jay, you're a wingspan guy.
I am a wingspan guy. Stay in your lane, Dan Shulman. That's my concept.
LL is starting the second half as he did the game. Still looking to get untracked offensively. Needs some help right now. Somebody's got to come get it. And Lawson does.
And Arkansas only had 5 turnovers in that first half. 3 or 4 of them were unforced. Good drive.
And there's a bucket for Ellis.
Ellis had Filipowski switched off on him and decided he was going to take him on. See if he could pick up that 3rd foul when Filipowski might not be as aggressive trying to guard it.
His first points in 4 games, and now maybe that he's broken the ice. Arkansas fans will see more of the L. Ellis that they have expected to see. Filipowski rejected by Lawson. What a play.
That's his 4th block of the game. He had 7 rebounds in that first half and 3 blocks. That's his 4th. And he has been all over the place.
And again, remember, they played Purdue in an exhibition game, and Lawson got a ton of credit for really containing Zach Edey as Arkansas beat Purdue in overtime in that game. What a pass. Ellis finds Lawson.
Arkansas trying to put Kyle Filipowski in as many ball screen actions as they can. Draw him away from the basket and play out of it.
Filipowski had to pick up the dribble. Proctor calls for the ball screen.
There's the pick and pop.
Misses the 3. Brazil had it, and it's out of bounds to Arkansas. And we got a foul call against Mark Mitchell on the play. Let's check in with Chris Bunham.
Eric Musselman compared this to an old-fashioned street fight, just guys grinding, trading punches. Said he loved the way that his team has played with effort. He said no one's gone on a scoring run. This is going to come down to which team is able to string together buckets.
I watched his press conference a couple of days ago after they got back from the Bahamas. One thing you're going to get from Eric Musselman is honesty. He is not going to throw a bunch of cliches out there. And he told everybody who was asking the questions exactly what he thought needed to improve about his team. And Jay, they're doing a lot of those things better here tonight.
Well, and after they left the Bahamas, he did the edits himself for the scouting. It took him 14 hours. Usually the assistants would do that, but Musselman wanted to do it himself.
He said he has never watched more film in his life than he did the last couple of days.
Mitchell's got to get more active in setting screens.
McCain floats it up, no good. Rebound, Filipowski. Can't get that to go. And a held ball is the call. The possession arrow will give it to Arkansas.
What a job by Trevin Brazil to challenge Filipowski inside and force him to miss that short shot around the basket. And then he's right there keeping that ball alive, grabs it. I think he wanted the foul, and so did Eric Musselman, but they had the possession arrow. Now Filipowski being put in another ball screen.
Davenport with a step back three. Filipowski with a one-handed rebound.
And that's a shot that Davenport can make. Not sure it was the best one Arkansas could have gotten.
Proctor behind Filipowski misses the three. Good rebound by McCain. Roach on the penetration, and it goes.
Boy, what a shot by Jeremy Roach. He went right into the chest of Trevin Brazil. He's got such a good mid-range game, and it seems like whenever Duke needs a bucket, and he did that against Arkansas actually in an Elite Eight game a couple years ago.
The floater up and good for Al Ellis.
If Arkansas can get something quick, Dan, why grind it out? Get it down court and try to get something quick if it's there.
Filipowski forces it up, and a foul on the Hogs.
Guys, you mentioned that Eric Musselman had watched more film since getting back from the Bahamas, but he also had another first. He gave his players 2 consecutive days off. He said, I've never done that in my career. But just with the travel delays and how long it took to get out there playing back-to-back games, realized my team just looked really tired. When they got back on the court on Monday, said they still looked tired. Really impressed, he said, with the way that the energy he's played so far.
Chris, thank you. Step in here by Proctor, up and good. And he was good last year as a freshman. He is great this year as a sophomore.
Yeah, Tyrese Proctor has been basically error-free. He's got just about a 5-to-1 assist-turnover ratio, leads the ACC, one of the best in the country. That shot fake was next level.
John Shire says he's really found his voice to a much bigger extent this year, talking a lot more in huddles in the locker room, really stepping up as a leader as well. Look at this
What a pass.
What a play as Proctor finds Filipowski.
And give credit to Jared McCain for passing ahead to Proctor. What a pass that was.
Ellis with a couple of buckets already here in the second half, keeps the dribble alive. Brazil, another three, his third of the game. And the answer at the other end.
Right now we're getting some shot making. If you're not up on that ball screen, I think Duke's going to be able to pull the trigger on some of those. You got to get up there. Now back to the 2-3 zone. A little penetration here goes a long way. Penetrate into a gap, even if it's just one dribble.
Lawson in the short corner finds Davis, who gives it right back to him for the reverse.
Devo Davis operates very well in the middle of that zone. No panic. And that was a beautiful pass.
13 assists on 17 made field goals for Arkansas. Filipowski just sticking with it.
Oftentimes when there's a shot block that close to the basket, the shooter is the one that's going to get it.
Battle. Still lots of time. Ellis. Lawson blocked from behind by Young.
They took it right out of his hands.
Filipowski steps into it. Arkansas ball, but a foul on the Razorbacks. What a scene, what a game. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball, presented by Continental Tire, is brought to you by Sonic Footlong Quarter Pound Chili Cheese Coney. For a limited time only at Sonic.
Well, Jeremy Roach is the oldest horse in Duke's barn. In the first half, got a couple transition opportunities. Wound up with 8 points in the first half, and he's been offensively aggressive here in the second. He's got 13 points overall. Knocks down this shot after the offensive rebound, gets right into Trevor Brazil, and then off a ball screen, knock down a jumper. And Duke's guards have to start beating people off the dribble.
And even more impressively, he has just tied you in career points with 1,062.
Well, I did it with a lot less shot opportunities, I can promise you that. I was told to call a timeout if I ever had an open shot.
But did you? Roach trying to pass Billis on this possession. Ooh.
It was a good refusal of the ball screen to get all the way to the bucket. He's done a great job of seeking out contact. Didn't get the call.
Ellis pulls up. 3 made field goals already here in the second half for Al Ellis.
And Arkansas has had success in screening the Duke zone. We saw the fade screen in the first half. He went down hard there. He lost his footing, it looked like.
Or maybe got tripped, but they play on. And then a foul against Duke at the other end. And Filipowski pleading his case, saying, I got tripped.
Whatever happened, it was an awkward-looking sequence. Filipowski on the short roll. He just stepped on
you're right.
Makai Mitchell's foot.
Yeah, Mitchell didn't do anything there. So a good no call. And here comes TJ Power, who in very limited minutes had a big impact on this game with a couple of made threes in the first half.
He can stretch that defense out a little bit, but they're going to play off of Ryan Young. Very small on the backside of this zone.
Blocker the kick. Battle has it. Lots of time on the clock. He'll drive and draw the foul.
Really smart by Arkansas to penetrate against this zone on a ball reversal, attack a gap, and get into the middle of that zone. This is not a big back line. You basically have Tyrese Proctor on the back line with TJ Power.
And that will send a guy who was a 90% free throw shooter a year ago with Temple to the line in Caleb Battle.
And coming into this game, he shot 51 free throws on the season. He's in the top 15 in the country for frequency to the line.
Filipowski was only out for a moment. He's back in because Young just picked up his 4th.
So that'll put Filipowski in the middle of the zone. If I were Arkansas, I'd go in and challenge him.
Arkansas by 5.
Caleb Foster into the game. You want to make him into a driver because he can shoot it. Had a big game against Michigan State. Had 18 points in that one, but that's where the majority of his threes have come from this season.
He's out there in the backcourt with Roach and Proctor. Power and Filipowski up front for the Blue Devils, who have won 4 in a row coming into this game.
Is that Lawson again? Didn't think Proctor needed to go to the other side of the rim there.
They can block some shots, can't they? And Battle is feeling it at the other end. It started with a block at one end, something they do very well, and it ended with a 3 from Battle.
Caleb Battle looked like he lost the ball on the way up, but you like the aggressiveness. A little shake afterwards to his bench.
Only 4 previous meetings between these two programs, but one of them was in the 1994 National Championship game. Grant Hill, Corliss Williamson, obviously both teams were great. Both teams were loaded, and at the end of the day, it was Arkansas with a 4-point win, winning the national championship, much to the delight of Bill Clinton, with Nolan Richardson as the head coach. What a great run he had here in Fayetteville, and Coach Richardson is here in the building tonight, Jay, watching this game.
Well, the Naismith Hall of Famer, you remember 40 minutes of hell, which I know is what you refer to working with me.
Who told you that that wasn't supposed to get out?
But these teams played in 1990 in the Final Four as well.
Yes.
Todd Day, Lee Mayberry, that was a great Arkansas team.
And then met in the Elite Eight 2 years ago, Mike Krzyzewski's last win. Got them into the Final Four, where they lost to Carolina in the next game, as that'll quiet the crowd just a bit, and probably not for long. Makai Mitchell, and they'll get noisy again.
Two really good calls out of the timeout by each coach. First for Shire, getting Kyle Filipowski in the middle of the floor where he'd get to that right hand, and then a beautiful open side pick and roll between L. Ellis and Mitchell.
Jay, L. Ellis has 6 assists and no turnovers tonight. Good save by McCain. Proctor.
What a pass, my goodness.
No look bounce pass. 3 off the side of the backboard by Proctor. Here come the Hogs.
And this is a big possession for Arkansas to stretch this out.
Battle. Yes. Double-digit lead, Arkansas.
What a great attack in transition by Arkansas.
Again, I don't know how they hear the whistle, but there's a whistle and a foul, with Arkansas now having its biggest lead of the game.
Caleb Battle has been so much more aggressive in this second half. He showed some aggressiveness in the first half, but a great open side pick and roll, a great catch by Makai Mitchell to be able to finish that. And then Caleb Battle just goes right into 2 big guys, kisses off the glass. Arkansas with the lead.
Welcome back, Hogs up 10. Caleb Battle owes his basketball career to his grandmother. That's because when he was growing up, his grandmother would take care of him after school, but she was a janitor at his school. So to make sure that him and his brother would stay out of trouble, she'd lock him in the gym while she went to clean the school. So they would sit around, they'd throw up shots, they said, until we hit 100 points. And it was at that moment, he's like, I owe my grandmother all of this.
What an impact he has had on his new team this year. After coming over from Temple, he's a guy who can go get you a bucket.
And what a difference for Arkansas, Dan, in this game versus their last 3 or 4. They've got 15 assists to the Razorbacks against only 5 turnovers. Now, part of that is Duke's been playing zone. That doesn't mean you can't turn it over, though. You can turn it over against zone. And Duke only has 7 assists in this ball game.
Whoops. And, well, who's the ball? It's going to be a foul on Brazil. Called for a push there on the baseline. And now the officials are going to huddle a little bit about this. And will there be an overrule here? Will the call change to that Roach kind of tripped over Brazil rather than Brazil initiating the contact. No,
I think it's still a foul.
Yep, it will
Terry
be a foul.
Oglesby had the call right away. They might be checking to see if the ball went out of bounds first, but I don't think it did. Brazil just had a little elbow in the back. Did I think it was a ton of contact? No. In this game, has that gone uncalled? Yes. But I think as you see that, I think it was his left arm.
Well, whatever they were looking for, they found it quickly. That was about as quick a review as you'll ever see.
Just as we were praising Arkansas's low turnovers, they turned the ball over against light pressure.
The foul occurred before the 10-second backcourt. The foul will count.
So the issue was, did the foul occur before the backcourt violation that they were also tracking? The answer was yes. In the end, it's going back to the Hogs.
And the block shot went off of Roach and out of bounds. So now Arkansas has to do a better job here of taking care of the ball. Just a great block. Actually went off Proctor. Great block by Elo Ellis to save a basket there. This 2-2-1 three-quarter court pressure. You just have to break somebody in the middle, turn, and break it.
By the way, Jay, that's 9 block shots already in this game for Arkansas.
They've got some long-arm defenders.
Brazil's knocked down 3 threes in this game. Battle, that's a very, very tough shot. But he's going to draw a foul and shoot 3. John Shire is saying Battle initiated the contact by kicking out his leg.
Well, it was a step back. It just wasn't a very smart foul. You still have to let him land. He pulled his knee up, but I don't know that he kicked his legs out. It looked like he was more protecting himself from the contact. But he did pull it up.
So the foul on Roach, and again, the 90% free throw shooter goes to the line for Arkansas.
And part of Dan playing with the lead that Arkansas has is continuing to run good offense. And you can't expect to pitch shutout after shutout on the defensive end. But if you continue to run good offense, that's how you keep a lead.
Proctor all the way, but misses the layup.
What a terrific challenge by Layden Blocker. Proctor got his shoulders around him, but Blocker challenged at the rim, forced the miss. He's going to be a really good player. He's good now, but he's going to be really good.
Stepped out of bounds.
And some of these turnovers, that's what I'm talking about, an unforced turnover. There's really nowhere to go.
Past the midway point of the second half, and Arkansas up 11 on Duke here at Bud Walton Arena.
Arkansas not allowing anything into the middle.
Mitchell's going to try to make something happen. Brazil got all of that. Blocker lays it in. And another timeout for John Shire and Duke. Well, if you appreciate a good block shot, you have enjoyed the performance of the Arkansas Razorbacks here tonight.
Well, Arkansas top 10 in the country in block shots. They block over 6 per game, but they've had 10 in this one. And that last block by Trevor Brazil, that was like a volleyball spike. But really the key was Layden Blocker jumping in front and getting that loose ball and turning it into a basket. It's one thing to block the shot. It's another to turn it into offense. And Arkansas has been excellent at that throughout the course of the game.
Filipowski lays it in, 60-49.
Boy, so good on that short roll. That was an excellent pocket pass from Jeremy Roach. And that is not an easy catch and finish for any big guy.
Ellis, nice pass, extra pass, and the three for Battle. Arkansas now 8 for 19, 42% from beyond the arc.
When the pressure is ratcheting up.
Filipowski with the force, and it goes. He's got 13.
Arkansas has to continue to penetrate. They're getting really good things when they're able to penetrate.
Mitchell from the elbow. Why not?
How about the pass fake by Mekhi Mitchell to open up that shot?
And Roach is fouled and is hurt.
His right ankle he's holding. The intensity of this game has been incredible. And when Jeremy Roach went down, he immediately started grabbing toward that right ankle. Arkansas's defense has been excellent in this second half, but look at the ball movement. And Caleb Battle ready to shoot, launch the three, doing a little shake down the other end.
You can't shoot by rule. The opposing team picks one of the four on the court to shoot.
And we're just getting something from the referee.
Yeah.
Jeremy Roach cannot shoot the free throws. So you get to, Arkansas gets to pick one of the others on the floor.
Right, one of the four remaining players. Let's see.
Well, it looked like it happened before he went up. He just twisted it.
So the question is, will he stay in the game? And he is up. He walked to the huddle. So it will be Caleb Foster. I think perhaps he received medical attention out of the court. He kind of has to come out for a moment. He can't stay in to shoot the free throws. So Foster steps to the line and misses the first.
Foster is an excellent perimeter shooter, but only shooting about 60% from the foul line.
Roach looks like he's going to check back in if this is a make, which it is not. Foster missed them both.
Duke in man-to-man. There's some driving opportunities against this lineup. And if I were Arkansas, I'd look to Trevor Brazil.
Battle feeling it. And the rebound to Power.
And that wasn't the shot.
McCain is fouled by Ellis.
Ellis was there with his body, but looked like he reached around. I'm not sure there was any contact there, but the reach might have looked like a foul.
Eric Musselman incensed, but his Hogs are up 14.
All right, Razorback fans, now that we are under 8 minutes, this is very important. When
Welcome back to the ACC-SEC Challenge presented by Continental Tire. This is an ESPN Sonic blockbuster here at Bud Walton Arena in Fayetteville, Arkansas. First time Duke has ever come here, and Arkansas, Jay, leading by 14 without the services of its leading scorer, Tremont Mark.
Averaging 18 points a game, had 34 against North Carolina, went 13 of 17 in that game before he was injured in the last minute and a half. But to do this without Tremont Mark, you know, Arkansas has done such a great job with its game plan. You know, I think Eric Musselman and his staff do as good a job of scouting as any team I see. You know, Arizona's up there, but you know, it's next level scouting. They have scouting stations in practice where they drill special player tendencies all over the floor. They've got all these poster boards up of their scouting points and plays that the opponent runs. I mean, it's really impressive, and the players absorb it and act positively upon it.
Do you think that comes from his experience in the NBA and other professional leagues?
I'm not even sure that. I'm sure it comes from all of his experiences. He's had experience at every level. I mean, Eric Musselman's been a basketball lifer. Of course, his dad, Bill Musselman, one of the great coaches.
So for people who may not have seen the entire game, we've just said they're up 14. Hang on. They're up 14 without Tremont Mark. How are they doing it?
Well, they've done it defensively. And it's been a low turnover game for the most part for Arkansas, and they've shared the ball really well. Their assists are way up from what they've normally been.
16 assists to just 7 turnovers tonight for the Razorbacks.
And they're averaging about 10 assists per game on the season. And in a low-scoring, grinded-out game, you know, they did a good job against the zone. They screened it. They got into the middle. But I think their defensive game plan has been excellent. It's been very good on Filipowski. They're not doubling him. They're just digging down from multiple positions to make him see a crowd. And then they've played off of Duke's non-shooting big guys. And Trevin Brazil primarily. It's not just been him. And they protected the rim with their shot blocking. It's been phenomenal.
Here's a fun fact. The last time Duke played a game in an SEC arena was 1992. Shaq was a Tiger and Billis was a coach. What do you remember?
I remember that Christian Laettner was heckled throughout the game, and he started giving it back to the LSU crowd. And Coach K called a timeout and said, "Will you shut up? We want to get out of here alive."
It can be hostile in some of these SEC arenas, and the Blue Devils are finding that out tonight. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Continental Tire, the smart choice in tires. You saw the 1994 national championship team from Nolan Richardson, and there's a shot of Duke after they, in Mike Krzyzewski's last win, they beat Arkansas to advance to the Final Four just a couple of years ago. How about the Hogs? Last 3 years, Elite Eight, Sweet 16. Not
just
bad.
Remarkable.
Yeah.
And last year, if Trevin Brazil had stayed healthy, that was a Final Four team.
Makai Mitchell, big physical battle with Filipowski, and Mitchell wins.
Just tremendous footwork by Makai Mitchell.
Yeah, that was a combo with finesse to go with the physicality.
Filipowski's had some foul issues in this game, but did a good job of backing him down and then pivoting. And when Filipowski readjusts, just steps right through and gets to the other side of the basket. Not quite Olajuwon, but pretty darn good. You get 2 feet in the paint. Big guy as good as Mitchell, he's going to score or get fouled or both.
Now here's the featured lineup for the beginning of December. Friday on ABC, the Pac-12 Championship, Oregon and Washington. Saturday, the Big 12 Championship, Oklahoma State and Texas. And then the ACC Championship Saturday night on ABC, Louisville and Florida State. And then Sunday, Reese will just smile.
Did you notice that lineup? Helmet, helmet, helmet. Reese Davis's magnificent hair.
Advantage, hair.
It's kind of a hair helmet. Might be harder than some of those helmets with all the hairspray he uses.
.620 to go. Arkansas led by 1 at the half, by a dozen right now.
Right now for Arkansas, it's about getting good shots, giving yourself the opportunity to get fouled. And L. Ellis doing a good job of taking on TJ Power there, getting into his body and forcing that foul.
The L. Ellis that the Hogs have had here in the second half. This is the L. Ellis they want to see. Again, a guy who had to do everything basically for Louisville last year. And in the absence of Tremont Mark tonight, Ellis has kind of found his rhythm a little bit more at the offensive end.
You give him credit for fighting back. You know, going scoreless 3 games in a row is not easy to come back from, but he's been aggressive.
And 6 assists as well. Foul on Jared McCain. And that'll put Arkansas into the bonus.
The smart plays by Arkansas to draw those 2 fouls. You know, they can't settle for jump shots the last 6 minutes. of regulation, especially with a 12-point lead. You want to put Duke in a position to foul, move the ball, and then drive it and play out of that.
Brazil 14-9 already in this game. Halfway down and out. Roach drives and lays it in.
Well, they're trying to get him to be able to turn the corner with that right hand. That's where he's most effective, on the left side where he can get to that right hand.
He just put you in the rearview mirror, Jay. No hard feelings?
Oh, I'm not worried about that. I was lucky to be in the car at all.
Hey, 1,062, nothing to sneeze at. McCain from the corner. And Brazil now with a double-double, his 10th rebound of the game.
And Arkansas can use a little clock here. You don't want to take the air out of it, but there's no rush.
That's 3 double-doubles in the last 4 games for Trevin Brazil.
And that lone, he had a bagel against North Carolina, but he's bounced back in a big way.
McCain, another foul. Number 2.
That puts Leighton Blocker on the line.
With an even 5 minutes to go here in Fayetteville. Blue Devils 5-1 on the season. The only loss for them came to Arizona in their second game of the year.
Blocker's been impressive his last 3 games, this one included. He's a pesky defender. He's got quick hands and feet.
Doesn't it feel like it might be a challenge in a good sort of way for Eric Musselman to, if he chooses to pare this group down from 10-11 to 8-9? He's got a lot of guys.
Well, that's a good problem to have, especially in practice, to have competitive practices.
Foul Makai Mitchell, who's saying to Terry Oglesmead, he gave me a shot up on the elbow. Number 4 on Mitchell.
He did ward him off a little bit. I think Filipowski's going to look to drive Mitchell at every opportunity, and Chandler Lawson going to come back in the ball game. A little bit better lateral movement out of him. You just have to stay low on Filipowski.
So 4 on Mitchell. And if you're Arkansas, you want to keep this clock moving here. You don't want to let them score in the line as Lawson checks back in. Good combo tonight for Arkansas, the 2 big guys.
Yeah, Arkansas's big guys, especially on the defensive end, with the way they challenged everything at the rim all game long.
And you got 3 legit ball handlers on the floor right now in Blocker, Ellis, and Battle.
Yeah, and Duke is really small right now. So you can put Brazil down in the post. He's being guarded by Tyrese Proctor.
Battle. Short. They can get it into single digits.
And that was just off one side, the initial action. Good deflection by Leighton Blocker. We were talking about his defense, but John Shire going to go a little bit bigger right now, get some more shooting into the lineup with TJ Power. But on the other end, you can expect Arkansas to drive that matchup.
Haven't seen Sean Stewart much tonight. Haven't seen Mark Mitchell in a while. Power, because of the shooting, getting more minutes. Roach, left hand, no! Ahead to Brazil. And a block is the call on Proctor.
Great decision to pass ahead. A great decision by Trevin Brazil to take that right into the body of Tyrese Proctor. So hard to be able to draw that charge. But great job by L. Ellis to challenge that shot by Roach and force the miss, but really smart by Trevin Brazil. Make the official make the call.
Got a great doubleheader of women's basketball action coming your way tomorrow on ESPN. Number 1, South Carolina taking on number 24, North Carolina. And then Virginia Tech and LSU in a top 10 matchup. And as we mentioned earlier, Angel Reese is back. She will play tomorrow. You know, if you ever want to marvel at what modern medicine can do, Trevin Brazil tore his ACL in December. You talked about it. And he's every bit the athlete now that he was before.
And that is a spectacular athlete.
Filipowski down with a rebound is Battle.
Pretty good job there by Chandler Lawson. He almost went for that shot fake, but stayed down, able to pressure that shot without fouling.
They play on, and Battle misses the elbow jumper, and it's down to the Blue Devils.
Boy, almost a great rebound by Brazil.
Proctor steps into it. Boy, how big would that have been? Pretty good look at a three, would have gotten it down to 8.
And that's when he's at his best. Both he and McCain shooting the three in transition.
Duke just 5 for 19, 26% from beyond the arc.
Duke coming with the double team.
Ellis dribbles right out of it. And they can afford to be patient here. Now it's down to 6. And Blocker lost it. Numbers for Duke. And a layup for Roach. Got 17 now, and it's a 9-point game.
There's still a lot of time left in this game.
Whoa! And a pass stolen away. And out of bounds off Filipowski back to Arkansas.
Well, Filipowski thought he got fouled. That was a great opportunity that the challenge took away. Arkansas a little bit loose with the ball the last couple of possessions. Filipowski able to take it away. He thought he took a bump here, but knocked right off his foot, and Arkansas keeps it.
SVP, thank you, my friend. 20,344. See how I laid out for the drum solo?
Very impressive.
Just like we rehearsed it. What's been very impressive has been the energy of this crowd from the moment from far before the moment that this game began. They have not quieted down for a second all night long.
Well, the energy of Arkansas's defense has matched the crowd. But right now, they've got to be energetic in breaking pressure and making sure when they get fouled, you step to the line, knock your free throws down.
Almost turned over. Roach goes down, stumbled, and Steven Anderson, one of the officials, is going to blow the whistle and say they got to mop up the perspiration. Just a safety issue.
Well, which means that Arkansas has to inbound the ball yet again against Duke's pressure. That means on the catch, there will likely be a trap. And Arkansas can go into the backcourt in order to inbound it. So they should have plenty of room.
Into Brazil, and in the same spot, Ellis just slipped right where Roach did. And Ellis down again, got bodied a little bit. Shot clock's down to 3. Brazil. Yes! What a shot by Trevin Brazil.
What a shot by Brazil. With the shot clock going down, Arkansas scrambling against the pressure. Maybe not the shot they wanted, but 2 went on the ball, and Brazil did not hesitate. And John Shire knew you get a stop there, maybe you got a chance. That stretches it out again to 12. So we're looking at a 4-possession game.
Jay, that's the 4th made 3 of the game for Brazil. That's a new career high for him.
He's been brilliant on both ends of the floor. But right now for Arkansas, Dan, no threes, no fouls.
Roach misses the 3, but is fouled by Battle.
And almost gave them both on that one possession. Almost gave them a 3, and then you foul. So not the most intelligent of defensive plays, and Eric Musselman knows it. You give credit for the aggressiveness, but that's a closeout that you just don't need. Put a little late pressure on it. Now Jeremy Roach steps to the line. Clock stopped, and 3 free throws.
You and I are in a very small group in this building who are sitting right now. Just about everybody, just about all of the 20,000 people here are standing.
Why wouldn't you be? To watch this kind of competition and this, Bud Walton Arena is awesome.
And a foul committed by Roach.
That's what's so great. You wish it happened more than just these conference challenge games. You know, teams like Duke and Arkansas should play on each other's home courts more often. You know, I get the tendency to want to play in the bigger arenas because that simulates an NCAA tournament game against this kind of opponent. But you know, if you have the opportunity to take your team to Bud Walton or to Allen Fieldhouse or Cameron Indoor Stadium or Pauley Pavilion, just amazing, just awesome.
Duke hosted Arizona this year. They'll return the favor, go out to Tucson next year. Arkansas is going to Oklahoma in a couple of weeks. The more, the better.
And in fairness to the coaches, with the expanded conference schedules, it's tougher to find slots in which to play these games. But I think we should start building in non-conference games into February and late January.
Used to have that back in the day.
Yeah, a little bit. But you still had to squeeze them in. You can play conference games earlier and play games like this more in February. What a great challenge by Brazil. Got over that screen and really bothered Caleb Foster going up for that shot. Brazil's been everywhere.
He has played 35 of the 38 minutes in this game. He's got 19 points and 11 rebounds.
And he's blocked a bunch of shots and changed even more.
And they can run some clock. The trap and the turnover. Roach lays it in, but it's still a 9-point lead.
And Arkansas has not handled these double teams very well. Here comes another one. Catch it in the coffin corner. Might have to call a timeout.
And then Battle is fouled, trying to step through the defense.
Caleb Battle steps to the line. He's an 82% free throw shooter coming into this one. And he has, throughout the course of his career, because he's a body-seeking guard, he's lived at the line. Duke a little bit small on the free throw line, so free throw blockouts are going to be big. Even if there's a miss here, Arkansas can tap it back. Jeremy Roach is the only one back.
Battle's 20th point of the night. Filipowski steps back for the three, and it's a 7-point game. And John Shire will use his last timeout.
Well, that's just what Arkansas did not want to give up, a three.
20 now for Filipowski, and remember, just about all of it has come here in the second half.
See, even if Chandler Lawson gave up that drive, he's just given up a two. You give up a three there, and you think, hey, he made a good closeout. He did, but he wound up giving up a three, and that's just what Arkansas didn't want to do there.
Well, time now for our Continental Tire Player of the Game, and a lot of guys have played well, but I think Trevin Brazil deserves a little bit of extra attention for the way he's played.
Trevin Brazil transferred into Arkansas from Missouri. Just an explosive freak athlete. He's quick to the ball. He can space the floor. He's knocked down threes in this one. But his ability to block shots and to challenge at the rim has been as big a factor in Arkansas putting themselves in a position to win this ball game as anything the Hawks have done. Arkansas's defensive game plan was excellent. And it's one thing to have a great game plan. It's another thing for it to be executed. And it's been executed very well. Very few middle drives. Good help on Kyle Filipowski.
And again, coming off back-to-back losses to Memphis and Carolina and playing without their leading scorer in Tremont Mark. This has been a terrific effort by the Hogs.
Yeah, showed a lot of toughness in this game.
Into Ellis. The trap again.
Battle's got to come to the ball. He's hiding back there.
McCain got a finger on it, but it's out of bounds.
Got 10 seconds.
Oh, you're right. A 10-second violation on Arkansas.
See, Arkansas's laden blocker, Caleb Battle, they didn't come back to the ball. They didn't present themselves as receivers. And this is a huge possession right here. Duke does not need a three. They just need a quick score.
There's 1 minute to play.
Filipowski will get it, and it's 75-70. Under a minute to go.
Turned it over again.
Oh my, they've got it again. Foster. And Roach is fouled. And Eric Musselman cannot stand to watch. Can't believe what's happening here.
Well, they're not handling the pressure well, but not enough Arkansas players are presenting themselves as receivers. And so these turnovers have put a lot of angst not only in the fans but in the players themselves.
And Eric Musselman is bringing Devo Davis back into the game, his senior. We haven't seen him in a long time. The freshman blocker comes out, and Davis goes in there to try to help with this pressure.
Has he been in since he hit his face on the floor?
He did come back in briefly for a couple of minutes. 1 of 2 for Roach, 4-point game. It ain't over yet.
Every catch is along the baseline.
And Ellis gets it over. Boy, that came close. They were down to 1 second on the 10 seconds, and Ellis just basically had to get it over and did so, and drew a foul.
And there's been no guard for Arkansas that will just take this press on and dribble through it. But if you're not going to dribble through it, throwing the ball side to side isn't going to do anything. You got to get it up the court, and in order to do that, other players have to present themselves, come back to the ball. It's basically, you know, 4-man V-cut. There's a drill everybody does called 4-man V-cut.
Can the big guys come back and help? Now blockers coming in, so now it's 4 guards. First time that we have seen 4 guards and Brazil. So Eric Musselman's got every ball handler and every backcourt guy that he can think of on the floor right now.
But the answer to your question, can the big guys come back up and present them? Yes, they can.
6-point lead. Roach, no. Follow, yes, for Filipowski. Down to 4.
If Duke can't get a quick trap, they got a foul right away.
Ellis in a tough spot, and he's fouled. It's Roach. And that's it for Jeremy Roach.
And Ellis goes back to the free throw line. He shoots about 75% on this young season. But Arkansas has some game pressure on now that they didn't have a few minutes ago. Just got a little loose with the ball against Duke's pressure and the trapping.
If they keep making free throws, they'll be fine. Ellis is at the line. He is 2 for 2 tonight.
But even making this is still just a 2-possession game. Free throw blockouts here are big.
One of two, 5-point game. Filipowski drives it and is fouled.
Can't tell whether they gave that to Brazil. He wiped it away up top. Just got a little body, apparently.
Yeah, they did. It's his third.
But a smart play by Filipowski to take the ball to the basket. In a 5-point game, you need 2 scorers. You don't have to have the 3 first. But it gives Duke an opportunity with the foul to put some pressure on Arkansas on yet another inbound play.
Filipowski now has 25 of the game, 22 of them in the second half.
And that was, well, with a 3-point first half, amazing. Only played about 11 or 12 minutes in the first half.
One possession game. And a foul.
Good job by Devo Davis, but I wasn't sure Arkansas understood they could run the baseline there. They treated it almost like a spot throw-in.
Davis will go to the line for the first time tonight. He is a 63% free throw shooter on the season.
He's been out for so long, tough position to come into, but he's an experienced player.
4 years in the program. The stress is palpable at Bud Walton Arena. Four-point game.
And that was a big one.
They need another quick score. Foster for 3. And down with a rebound, and wrapping it up is Battle, and then get thrown to the court. And that should just about do it. Boy, that ball goes down. It's a 1-point game. But now the best free throw shooter they've got is walking to the other end of the court.
And a big-time rebound. That's how you seal games away, is grab big defensive rebounds. And this has not been pretty to end the game for Arkansas. But they made enough plays throughout the course of this game to put themselves in a position to win a big one after some difficulties down in the Bahamas their last couple of games.
And a guy who's 90% of the season has missed 3 tonight. He's 7 for 10. He can't believe it that he missed it. Makes that one. 5-point lead, 5 seconds to go.
Just get a finger on this.
They do. And that is going to do it. The Hawks win.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stay off the court.
The first time that Duke ever comes to Bud Walton Arena, and Arkansas beats them 80-75. And an intense affair in front of a record crowd here in this building. And as you can see, a good time is being had by all right now.
What a gritty performance by Arkansas without their leading scorer and their best player, Tremont Mark. That's what the Razorbacks needed to continue to believe.
Somewhere Chris Budden has Eric Musselman.
Yeah, we came to safety. Coach, you told me this was a street fight at halftime. What did you guys do in the second half to be able to pull away during portions of it?
Well, we didn't take care of the ball. We're going to work on some press breaks, I promise that. Really proud of our team without T-Mark, one of our leaders, against a great Duke team. What a great home win.
I know it's been a tough couple days coming off the Bahamas. You said you watched more film in 24 hours than you ever have. What are you most proud of with this group tonight?
We really followed the game plan. We weren't going to guard Mitchell. They ended up having to take out one of their most active offensive rebounders. Really proud of how the execution of the game plan defensively more than any other part of the game.
Record crowd, your 100th win as an Arkansas head coach in front of this type of environment. What was it like out there?
I mean, it was awesome. I mean, words can't describe the feeling right now. It's a great win. Now we got to get back and get ready for Monday.
Enjoy it. Congratulations, Coach.
What a night here in Fayetteville. What a win for the Razorbacks, snapping a 2-game losing streak as they take down number 7 Duke. 80-75 tonight. Trevin Brazil and others with so many big moments. And Eric Musselman, here's his reaction. How fired up is he? And he should be. How fired up was this crowd all night long? As Arkansas beats Duke 80-75. The SEC wins the last 3 games tonight, and that means the ACC-SEC Men's Challenge ends in a dead heat, 7-7. The ACC won the first 4 tonight, the SEC the last 3. You know what? They should do this again next year, and we think they will. What a scene, and the party is on here in Northwest Arkansas. Hope you enjoyed it. For Jay Billis, Chris Butter, and our crew, I'm Dan Schulman with much, much more. Here's SVP.